United Arab Emirates. Did you know Emirati cuisine is the local traditional Arabic cuisine of the United Arab Emirates? It is a part of the Eastern Arabian cuisine and shares similarities with cuisines from neighboring countries such as Omani cuisine and Saudi Arabian cuisine, as well as influences from different Middle Eastern and Asian cuisines. As a major international hub, the United Arab Emirates today has multicultural and variety of cuisines from different parts of the world. The cuisine, which originated in the area that is now the United Arab Emirates and was previously the Trucial States, is formed by a similar Arabic and Middle Eastern cuisine which is consumed in the wider Arabian Peninsula. The food is a mixture of the Bedouin diet consisting of meat and camel milk, a fisherman's diet consisting mainly of fish common in the Persian Gulf, and a farmer's diet consisting mainly of dates. A blend of these diets as well as a mixture of spices such as cinnamon, saffron, turmeric form the basis of common dishes consumed in the Trucial States region and the current traditional Emirati cuisine. The traditional food of the United Arab Emirates uses much meat, grain, and dairy. Vegetables that are easy to grow in the fertile soil such as cucumbers and tomatoes are strongly featured in the diet. Did you know camels are highly prized for their milk and transporting ability, therefore the eating of camel meat is normally reserved for special occasions. The next one, we have here the history and the influences. The origins of Emirati cuisine came from the Bedouins who roamed the country, with a focus on meat from goats and lambs, as well as the fish caught from the Arabian Gulf, notably kingfish and the grouper. The food staples are based on what was available at the time. Even chicken is relatively new addition, becoming more available after the oil boom of the 1950s, which indigenous birds such as the Houbara bustard more common from that. While today, there is a growing use of camel meat, with camel burgers appearing in the restaurants around the country. It was not an especially common meat to consume in the past. Camel would be occasionally served. In the past, in that case, they give the camel meat from a high-profile event such as a VIP wedding, but typically the camel served as a main mode of transport rather than a source of food. Plus, camel's milk was an important part of the diet. For centuries, the UAE has been a place for traders in the region to meet, and as such, there has been an influence on Emirati food from those visiting, especially from Iran and India. Spices such as cardamom, saffron, and cumin feature in myriad dishes and have been brought and sold in local ports for centuries. But how these spices are incorporated in meals is a key element that defines Emirati cooking. A blend of spices can be found in many Emirati dishes. Musabi al-Ka'abi, executive chef of Jumeirah, Jabil Sarai, has a clear idea about what makes Emirati cuisine distinct from others in the region. He says that the main difference is the use of spices and how they are infused into our dishes. He says, every family has their own unique favorite spice combination, so we roast the ground spices up to their preferred mix and blend them for added flavor. Along with that blend of home-mixed ground spices, Al-Kabi picks out dry lemon and ghee as ingredients that define local cooking. Since the 5th century, the UAE and Dubai in particular established itself an essential pitch stop for foreign merchants. Its prime position along silk and spice routes, and the city's role as trading port for fishing Both building and bird diving played an increasingly important part in evolution of Emirati cuisine. Emirati cuisine is a blend of so many cultures, particularly from Asia. Traders in the past brought back influence from many places with their travels. It explains by the al-saya. These exotic spices soon found their way into age-old recipes in Indian, Arabian, Italian, Mediterranean, and Turkish. Culinary influence begin to underline the food of the UAE. And we have here the nature and characteristics. Hospitality and generosity are two very important values in the Middle East. The region is known for its welcoming people who are interested in learning about their guests and welcome them to experience their culture, like traveling to any part of the world. Tourists and visitors should be aware of how custom and traditions in the Middle East may differ from life in their home country. In general, Middle Eastern society is considered to be both more formal and more traditional than Western society. Communal eating with shared dishes is common practice in the Middle East and is highly recognized as an expression of friendship. Hand-to-mouth eating is an important custom in Muslim countries. However, guests should not eat with their left hand, which is considered unclean. In many places, it is also considered polite to leave a bit of food on one's plate. Muslims' traditions frowns upon consuming pork products, and pork is not readily available in restaurants in the Middle East. Observant Muslims also consume halal food, which involves a particular preparation of meat. And when inviting you into their home or place of business, Arab hosts will always offer tea or coffee. Guests are recommended to accept the gesture. Observant Muslims do not drink alcohol or smoke. In the UAE, alcohol is served in the most hotels but may not be able at other local establishments. If alcohol is not offered, it is better not to ask for it. And dining in the UAE is very social affair and can be a mean to doing business also. It is considered polite to arrive 15 minutes late and expect to eat with the right hand. The left hand is considered dirty. However, if you are left-handed, it is acceptable to eat with utensils in the left hand. Arabs may eat with their hand only and without utensils, and cleanliness is therefore very important. Let's move on to the traditional Emirati food. Like everywhere, Emirati food also reflected the region's culture, climate, and resources. It has undergone many changes. After discovering oil and with the influx of expats, their cuisines underwent a lot of changes. First, we have the balilat. The balilat is a combination of sweet and salty elements. It is a breakfast dish made with omelette and vermicelli, sugar, cinnamon, saffron, cardamom, orange blossom, or rose water are added for flavor. The next one is the bide wa tomat or shakshuka. In simple terms, shakshuka is just scrambled eggs with tomato and pepper. On top of the tomato, there will be thyme and coriander. The next one, we have the chabab bread or the Emirati pancake, a thin, crisp, and sweet bread that looks and feels a lot like an American pancake. The next one is the khamr bread. This is easily qualified as the softest bread in the world. Khamr bread is a round, puffy, flat bread with two layers that separated easily. Instead of sugar, dates are used to sweeten the bread. Fennel, saffron, and cardamom are used as flavoring agents in the bread. It will help if you had an oven to make this. In the old days, Arabs used coal ovens to bake kamar bread. The kamar bread might remind you of the burger bun with a sprinkle of sesame seeds garnished on top. While eating, you can split the layers apart and feel butter and cream inside. The bread is so soft that fresh kamar will make with a touch of your tongue. The next one is the kubz regag or the rikog bread. Rikog is a crispy paper thin bread made of whole wet flour. The dough is flattened and cooked in a pan or hot iron plate. This is almost similar to the Indian flatbread chapati. The name regog itself is from the Arabic word rika, meaning thin. The next one is the dango or the boiled chickpeas. Basically, this is boiled chickpeas but with red chilies and spices. The dish lasts long without spoiling. Arab carried this with them when they went on long journeys through deserts. Dango can be prepared on a whim, and for that reason, it is also a popular evening snack. And we have here the UAE basic ingredients. There is a notion that those who are blessed with culinary skills are those who can turn even the simplest ingredients into a delightful dish. With food being the crucial aspect of our everyday lives, it is naturally one of the most universally known languages. People connect through culinary experience, with each culture bringing different interpretations of an ingredient to the table. Here are a few other ingredients that is commonly useful in cooking delicious dishes in United Arab Emirates. We have here the seafoods, chicken, beef, sesame seeds, dates, garlic, onions, eggs, tomatoes, cucumbers, coriander, nutmeg, capsicum, pepper white, wet, sugar, and milk. And for the traditional tools and equipment, most of the recipes that you will encounter in the Arabian cuisine will not require any need for the special equipment utensils or special tools for you to purchase. Most of the equipment will already be found in your kitchen if it is up to date. And here are the few other items that will commonly handy while cooking United Arab Emirates food. We have here the pan, large pots, grillers, juicers, kitchen knives, kitchen slicers, kitchen thermometers, measuring cups, and measuring spoons, miscellaneous utensils, mixing bowls, and skimmers, strainers, and essential utensils like serving spoons, spatulas, forks, turners, scrapers, and tongs should also be part of your cooking. Having a common coffee grinder helps with the roasting and grinding spices and maximizes their capricious oils, which in turn provides your Arabian cuisine to have more taste and flavor to it. The large pots are commonly used in cooking most of the Arabian dishes, as well as the huge pans are used over a furnace on fire. This is how most of the Arabian cooks bring in traditional and authentic flavor to their food. However, now in modern homes where you cannot fix in a furnace, the food is cooked over normal stoves, but small pieces of charcoal are added at the end of the cooking for a few minutes to give it a slightly smoky taste.